Archaeologists have discovered a unique family tomb that contained 20 mummies, and in one of the sarcophaguses, scientists examined the fingerprints of ancient workers. Watch the video to the end, and you will also find out what was so attractive about the green color for the ancient Egyptians. Hi friend, you're on the KirTop channel. Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania. One of the world's most important archaeological sites isn't a lost city or a treasure-filled tomb. It's a steep ravine in Tanzania's Great Rift Valley. Known as Olduvai Gorge, this site holds the earliest evidence of human ancestors. In the 1930s, husband and wife paleoanthropologists Louis and Mary Leakey discovered stone tools in Olduvai Gorge, as well as the remains of the skull of the primate proconsul, which is 25 million years old. Then, in 1959, Mary Leakey discovered skull fragments and upper teeth belonging to Paranthropus boisei, an early human of hominine ancestor that lived about 1.75 million years ago. At the time, Paranthropus boisei was the oldest hominine ever discovered. Leakey and their two sons also discovered another human ancestor, Homo habilis, in Olduvai Gorge. In 1968, Peter and Zube discovered a 1.8 million-year-old Homo habilis skull at the site. And in 1986, a team of archaeologists from Tanzania and the United States discovered hundreds of bones belonging to a female Homo habilis who also lived about 1.8 million years ago. Prints on the sarcophagus. In 2005, the restoration team worked on an Egyptian sarcophagus at the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge. The coffin belonged to a priest, Nespavershafet, who died around 1000 BC. Unexpectedly, under the lid, they found the dirty fingerprints of an artisan who made the coffin 3000 years ago. For some reason, the ancient workers worked on the inner lid before the varnish dried. As a result of such impatience, their prints were preserved for posterity. They were made public only 11 years later, in 2016, when the unusual artifact was included in the first major exhibition dedicated to Egyptian artists and how their styles have evolved over 4,000 years. Throne of Tutankhamun, which is 3,300 years old. The place of honor on which the ruler was always tried to highlight especially. In any culture, he was not only the head of the people, he ruled on behalf of the gods. A special chair, a throne, is a symbol of chosenness and power. In 1922, Tutankhamun's tomb was opened. The throne of this young Egyptian pharaoh was found in it. Tutankhamun died when he was 19 years old, around 1323 BC. The throne is very interesting both as a regalia of the ruler and as a work of art, and like a family photo album. The tomb was not plundered, so the throne has survived to this day almost untouched. The thieves managed to remove only precious stones and some gold details. The throne itself is made of wood and covered with plates of gold. Mosaic drawings are lined with glass, quartz, enamel, and ivory. So even with the gems removed, the throne is still beautiful and the drawings are as informative as possible. It is the image on the back of the throne that makes it such an exceptional artifact. The drawings are very different from how it was customary to depict the pharaohs. They were supposed to be depicted as imperious, standing firmly on their feet. And on the back of Tutankhamun's throne, he is placed in a nice homely environment. The pharaoh sits relaxed in an armchair, and his wife anoints him with oils. They seem to be having a nice family conversation. The fact that this is the wife of Tutankhamun is understandable because the couple has paired bracelets on their ankles, symbols of marriage. We see a boy, young and carefree. The researchers even claim that he is swaying in his chair. If you look closely, the legs of the throne in the image are uneven on the floor. The back ones are higher than the front ones. One might think that this chair, as a symbol of power, has nothing to do with the throne, but the armrests are decorated with animal winged snakes, and the back is decorated with 4 cobras with solar discs on their heads. This is a symbol of wisdom. The legs are decorated with lion heads at the top and paws at the bottom. This is a symbol of power. It is not clear whether the throne was made specifically for the tomb or whether the pharaoh used it during his lifetime. Still, the images do not indicate the afterlife. Ancient frieze deciphered in Mexico. A frieze discovered in Oaxaca in 2018 contains glyphs symbolizing themes associated with superstition and social hierarchy in the Zapotec and Mixtec cultures. Archaeologists from the National Institute of Anthropology and History of Mexico have interpreted the glyphs of an ancient frieze excavated in Oaxaca, providing insight into the cultural norms of the Zapotecs and Mixtecs. The 15-meter frieze, dated between 650 and 850 AD, is believed to have originally been about 30 meters long. It decorated the main facade of a structure, most likely a residential building, known as the Casa del Sur, House of the South, where it would be visible from the bustling ceremonial square, signaling political or economic importance. Archaeologists believe that the frieze was partly destroyed by the Zapotecs who vacated the site, based on the discovery of fragments of a funerary urn at the site. According to Nelly Robles Garcia, National Coordinator for Archaeology at the Cultural Heritage Institution, the effigies are believed to have been sacrifices that may have been made with the intention of demystifying the space. Monte Alban features sprawling plazas and truncated pyramids inspired by the architectural style of Teotihuacan, as well as elaborate underground passages, a Tlachtli ball court, and some 200 elaborate tombs. It was settled by the Mixtecs during the Spanish colonization in the 16th century. Archaeological research in the area is ongoing. US tourist discovers ancient jug. It is believed that the jug is 5,000 years old. An American tourist accidentally discovered an ancient and well-preserved early Bronze Age earthenware vessel at Qumran, which is located in the Judean desert near the Dead Sea. Robbie Brown stumbled upon the ancient find in February when he and a friend decided to climb 328 feet to explore a cave known as Cave 53. The ancient jar is thought to be around 5,000 years old and could potentially be the first intact jar found in areas from this distant time period. Brown is no stranger to archaeological discoveries in Israel. In 2017, he took part in excavations in the same area, which resulted in the discovery of an ancient blank scroll, as well as ancient olive seeds and dates. Qumran, located in the Judean desert, is an area full of caves and became world famous when a Bedouin accidentally discovered the priceless Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947. Due to its remote location and dry air, the Judean desert contains a high concentration of well-preserved ancient artifacts. Over the years, the Judean Desert region has attracted a large number of professional archaeologists and amateur archaeologists such as Brown. Archaeologists and historians believe that hundreds of Jews lived in the Qumran area in ancient times based on the number of buildings and Jewish ritual baths discovered. Resin in the burial ground. Near the River Deben in England, a 27-meter ship was excavated, which was used as a tomb. In fact, this discovery took place as early as 8 decades ago at Suttonhoo, an ancient cemetery considered one of the most important burial sites in the UK. Scientists suggest that the ship, with precious metals and stones, is the tomb of King Radwold, who died in 624 or 625 AD. Most intriguing was the black substance found all over the boat. It was originally thought to be a waterproofing agent, but thanks to the vast technologies that became available in 2016, repeated tests showed an unexpected result. The tar-like material was a rare type of bitumen found exclusively in the Middle East, but what this bitumen did on the ship is not clear. It may have been exported at the time. 5 untouched ancient tombs in Saqqara. Egypt has revealed recently discovered, well-decorated ancient tombs in a pharaonic necropolis near the capital, Cairo. 5 tombs were discovered earlier this month and belong to the Old Kingdom, a period spanning roughly 2700 to 2200 BC. Mustafa Vaziri, General Secretary of the High Council of Antiquities, said Egyptian archaeologists began excavations in September. According to him, the tombs were intended for high-ranking officials, including regional rulers and palace guards in ancient Egypt. All these 5 tombs are well painted and decorated. The excavations have not stopped to this day. Archaeologists plan to continue them. They believe that they can find more tombs in the area. The largest Roman mosaic in the last 50 years. One of London's newest landmarks, the glass skyscraper known as the Shard, apparently shares space with one of the city's oldest hidden treasures, a 2,000-year-old almost surviving Roman mosaic recently discovered. Archaeologists from the Museum of London Archaeology made the discovery earlier this month during excavations in preparation for building work. The team believes that a well-preserved mosaic adorned with the floor of the Roman dining room. According to a Mola press release, the find is the largest Roman mosaic discovered in London in at least 50 years. This is a rare find for the city, as mosaics of this magnitude were rare in cramped urban settings. The original structure containing the mosaic is believed to have been a Roman mansio or luxury motel, offering lodging, a stable, and a dining room. The house's size and luxurious accommodations suggest that it catered to high-ranking officers and their guests. The mosaic consists of two panels, the larger of which probably dates from the late 2nd or early 3rd century AD. The panel is decorated with large, colorful flowers surrounded by bands of intertwining threads and Solomon's knots, a common motif of ancient Roman mosaics, often depicted as two looped ovals. The researchers noted an exact parallel to a mosaic pattern discovered in the German city of Trier, suggesting that both were the work of itinerant Roman artisans at work in London. Chrysocolla Amulet. The Egyptians took flowers seriously and gave each one its own meaning and quality. Researchers knew that the color green symbolized growth, harvest, and health in Egypt. It was important enough to place scarabs carved from green stone next to the hearts of mummies. But no one suspected why the color green was also so important when it came to Egyptian children. According to ancient records and hieroglyphs, the youth even wore green makeup. A recent discovery shows that Egyptian parents believed that this color could protect their offspring. When examining a child's mummy, a leather pouch with a bright green Chrysocolla amulet was found on the body. When a child died 4,700 years ago in Egypt, malachite was the most widely available green mineral. Chrysocolla was a rare commodity, available only in Sinai and the East Egyptian desert. A similar Chrysocolla figurine depicting a boy supports the theory that a certain green-colored mineral was used only by children. Several experts agree that the amulet found on a toddler who died of malaria was likely meant to ensure health and safety in the afterlife. Family tomb with 20 mummies. One of the most significant finds of the Egyptian-Italian mission was made in 2019 when archaeologists unearthed a tomb that had been used many times over many centuries, from the Ptolemaic era to the Roman period. Like many burial structures found in the area, it turned out to be looted, but scientists found 35 mummies as well as valuable artifacts, vessels, palm wood stretchers, figurines, and cardboard. Archaeologists from the Egyptian-Italian mission explored the territory to the west of the city of Aswan in the vicinity of the mausoleum of Aga Khan III, which was built in 1956 on the site of an ancient necropolis of the 6th century BC, 4th century AD. Scientists managed to find a large tomb which was plundered in antiquity. However, 20 well-preserved mummies dating back to the Greco-Roman period still rested in it. Among them, archaeologists single out the mummy of a child, which along with the cartonnage was in a terracotta sarcophagus. The tomb itself consists of 4 burial chambers carved into the rock, the entrance to which was equipped with sandstone blocks and adobe bricks. According to Professor Patricia Piacentini from the University of Milan, who led the mission from the Italian side, members of the same family were buried in this burial structure. She noted that in addition to the mummies themselves, archaeologists managed to find valuable artifacts of that era: a sacrificial table, a copper necklace, stone slabs with inscriptions, and wooden figurines depicting the mythical Ba-bird. Smiling pot. It is not often that you meet an ancient potter with a sense of humor. When archaeologists dug up a 4,000-year-old pot, it smiled at them. In 2017, when a 7-year-old excavation near the Syrian border uncovered another broken pot in Turkey near the Syrian border, it seemed that there was nothing unusual about it. But when the restoration team collected the pieces into a large pot, they noticed something very familiar to modern people: a smiley face. Around 1700 BC, someone squeezed out a pair of eyes in the wet clay and emphasized them with a smile. The single-handed white vessel used to consume sherbet is totally considered the oldest emoji in history. The place where it was found is called Carchemish, and it once belonged to the Hittites. Rare coin depicting the modern Roman emperor. The coin was discovered by Mate Varga, an employee of the Ripple-Rona Museum in Kapaswar, together with volunteers at the beginning of 2022. They're excavating a Roman settlement in the county of Somogy in southwestern Hungary. However, the exact location of the object is not reported. The rarest coin, weighing 5.5 grams, depicts Emperor Valesian, who ruled the Roman Empire from 251 to 253 AD. Valesian's co-ruler was Trebonius Gallus. During their reign, a large-scale epidemic of plague struck the Roman Empire, at the same time as the Persian invasion devastated the eastern provinces. 2 years after coming to power, Gallus and Valesian were killed by their soldiers during the rebellion of the Messian governor Marcus Aemilius Aemilianus. Due to the short reign of Valesian, coins bearing his likeness are rare. Moreover, the denomination of the coin is also rare. Archaeologists do not know who the coin belonged to, but since it was the only one discovered at this site, it was probably lost by some traveler. One side of the coin depicts a portrait of a bearded emperor with a crown of rays on his head, while the other side depicts Libertas, the Roman goddess of freedom. The coin is now part of the numismatic collection of the Ripple-Rona Museum, which previously contained only one Roman gold coin. Rate this video with a thumbs up or down and tell your friends about it. As usual, I look forward to your kind comments. Thanks for your views. Bye everyone!